Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Dan here, and today we're going to be discussing, still keeping on the topic of self-image. We're going to be talking today a little bit about your self-conception, a little bit about hypnosis, not directly, but how we perceive ourselves and what we believe to be true is very similar to states of hypnosis. And I'm going to be diving into that a little bit today as well, and diving into you are not inferior, understanding that you are you, right? And you're not inferior in any way, shape, or form. And if you believe you are in any way, shape, or form, continue watching, and well, I hope to prove you wrong. And then we're going to be talking about how to break the habit. Okay, so we're talking about ourself, how we get how our self-belief is turned into this trance that is then put into this hypnotic state of us creating these horrible habits for ourselves that we don't believe we're worth anything, and then we do those actions every day because our self-image lines up with that, and then our goals line up with it, and it's just really bad, guys. So it's not funny, but you can't, I mean, stay tuned because we're going to be covering this in depth. So self-conception. So your grades, your progress, your progression at work, let's say, is in some degree related to your self-image, is in some degree related to how you define yourself and your self-conception. Realizing this, we need to understand that if you say that I am bad at math, you will be bad at math. If you say that you can't do something, you probably won't do it. Why though? Why does that all happen? When you tell yourself that you can't do something, when you say that I am, the key word is am, by the way. When you say I am, that defines, that envelops your self-image and your self-conception and who you believe to be you. And then that has a whole bunch of negative string effects because that's the basis from everything that you pull from, your actions. That's what your brain and your subconscious will pull from what you're using, what you're talking about. You're saying, I'm bad at math. Your brain's going to be like, okay, somebody's that bad at math. What would they do? They probably wouldn't study math. They'd probably study science because I like science. You see, so I'm going to be good at science, right? I like medicine. I like studying medicine. So I am going to be good at medicine, perhaps practicing medicine. And you see all these things. It's similar to the effect of generational occupations, if you will. If your mom or dad's always been a lawyer, then they want you to be a lawyer because that's what they do and that's what they know and that's what they know to be successful, and so they want you to be successful, so you get absorbed in the world and that's all you really know, and because you don't want to let them down, and all these sorts of things happen because you're immersing yourself into a world of self. Notice what I'm doing here. Your world, your self-image, how you believe, what you believe, yourself, how you conceptualize the world from you. Remember our paradigm? I don't believe we've talked about this, but your frame of mind, your paradigm, how you see the world, the lens in which you see the world. So I'm looking at you guys through a lens. So you see me through a lens, okay? If I were to put like something over the lens, right? That's going to cover the lens. Like, that's my hand. That's going to cover the lens, right? If I put something green, like a green disc, over the top of the lens, you're going to see me green. I'm going to be green. You're going to be like, Dan, why are you green? I'm going to be like, I don't know, I'm not green. I'm wearing a green shirt. But they'd be like, I don't know. Why are you green? I would say, I don't know, I'm not green. because I don't have the green filter in front of my eyes. You have the green filter in front of your eyes. Okay, does that make sense? So I'm not gonna see me as green, but you're gonna see me as green because that your self-image of the world, that lens, the paradigm in which you see the world, is distorted. Okay, it's distorted. So your actions are gonna be distorted. Okay, and it all stems from you conceptualizing yourself as somebody negative, as somebody effectively that you're not. Okay, because if you have a negative self-image, your actions will exhibit somebody that has a negative self-image, and unfortunately it's just not going to get better until you break the habit, which we're going to get into. So moving on, pressing onwards a little bit, let's talk about the hypnotic state that it can put you in. Let's talk about that for a second, because that's really interesting to me. If you've ever heard of The Matrix, or just working the 9 to 5, working 40 years and dying, and that's it, that's all you do, and everybody kind of gets stuck in that, and we don't have a chance. We do have a chance to increase our awareness, we just don't take it. And sometimes we're just completely blind to the idea of being able to do anything else, which is why I made this channel, because I want everybody to see every possible angle of every possible argument. That's a lot, but it's somewhere to start. It's somewhere to form and base proper ideas from. It's not me telling anybody to do something specific. I'm just sharing what I know to be true and what I believe for myself. That is my self-image, and that is my belief of the world. That is my paradigm, if you will. So that's me. But going into the hypnotic state that a poor self-conception can put you in. If you go and you accept an idea as truth, then you will act as if it is truth. Okay? If you accept an idea to be true, if you believe an idea to be true, you will act out on that idea. Now, this is going to get a little dicey. Stay with me. Let's dabble our toes in religion for a minute. Just for a minute. Stay with me. Keep an open mind. Let's argue we're at our place of worship, okay? Let's argue we're at our place of worship. And why do we believe what we believe? Whether you be atheist, whether you be, Muslim, whether you be Christian, what have you, your beliefs are valid, okay? Why do you believe that? You have your reasons, you know exactly why, but it's important to know why, okay? Just as it's important to know why you act the way you do throughout the day. You should base your reasons behind factual knowledge, okay? We base our important things in life off of that, but sometimes we let ourselves go. We let ourselves slide mentally, and we seem not to know where to land, where a solid surface can be to catch us. So we get trapped in this hypnotic state of we believe that we just can't do anything anymore. So I have down here, one of the goals of hypnosis is to overcome an idea that prevented you from reaching a goal. So with talking about the hypnotic state stuff, it prevents you from reaching your goal, okay? Because if we stem from the negative self-conception, if we believe that we aren't going to get good grades, we're going to be put in this trance. Our brain is going to put us in this trance. Now stay with me, because the opposite can happen. Your goals can be the first thing, and then you could get put in a trance, and then you can just be a machine that goes and just gets it done, right? So stay with me. We're going to explain both sides of it. so if you have that negative self-conception, you get put in this hypnotic state and prevents you from achieving your goals, okay? Because let's talk about, I'm sure some of you have seen a hypnotist in action. I've seen a hypnotist in action. It was really cool. And if the hypnotist is on stage and he tells somebody that they can do something, they're more than likely going to do it because they are put in a hypnotic state and they are told something directly, something that they believe to be factual, right? Remember, going back to what we said before, they believe it to be factual, so they just do it, right? Somebody who said that they were bad at math, if the hypnotist tells them how to be good at math and to just be good at math, then they'll pick up a pencil and go crazy, right? They'll go crazy. And it's the same deal as with anything. It puts you in a trance that you can't escape from, but you can escape from it. You tell yourself you can't escape from it because it's the negative loop. The negative loop tells you that you can't do it. You can't, you won't, but you can, and we're going to keep it pushing and identify why. So from the hypnotic state, you're going to branch out and say that you are inferior, most likely. I don't know if you have a negative self-image and you get put in a trance that you're just gonna say, oh, everything's happy-go-lucky. I don't know, but I'm willing to guess that you're going to say that you are inferior in some way, shape, or form, and you're not. Okay, and I'm gonna say something really cliche. You're special, okay? But I'm gonna tell you why. So we base our facts off of feelings, not knowledge, okay? So I ran track and field, so I know that I'm not as fast as Usain Bolt, right? I know. I can tell you right now, I'm not, okay? But I have control over what I feel, okay? I don't have control over that bit of knowledge, that bit of statistic, that fact, that I am slower than Usain Bolt. But I know that I can feel differently based on my beliefs. If I have a poor negative self-image and a poor self-conception, I will be put into this automated hypnotic state that my brain derives all the negative activities from, and then we're going to go a step further and bring it and actualize it and put it into the real world and say, oh my gosh, I actually am nothing, right? No, you're not. Slow down. You're so much more than that. You're being put in this trance. Break it. Snap out of it. You are special because every soul, if we go back and watch the beginning of the channel, the beginning of the video, like 6 videos ago, something like that, then you'll understand who you are and why you are special, okay? Because you have a soul and you are consciousness and you are awareness, and that is you. You're not, once again, going back to a couple videos ago, you're not what you see. You're not what you experience, right? So you know you're not that candle. I'm going to pick it up one more time. I am not the candle because I'm looking at the candle, right? I know I'm not as fast as Usain Bolt because I'm not as fast as Usain Bolt. That's a comparison, okay? But that's knowledge. Feeling is, what if this candle's faster than me on the track, right? Oh my gosh, this candle is faster than me. I'm going to let that negatively affect me, and I'm going to get all self-conscious about it because this candle is right beside of me, and there's nothing that I can do about it, right? This candle's going to beat me all day, every day, and that makes me inferior. Okay, we need to separate it. Take a step back, thousand foot view. Take a step back, look at the situation. You're not tied to that one event. You're not tied to being good at one thing. You're not, even if it's your job. Some people get really tied up in their occupation. They'll say, I am a phenomenal salesman. But and you may be, the best salesman in the world. But, right, but how do you view yourself when you're alone, when the door's shut and you're back home? How do you view yourself? If you put all your eggs in that one basket, that is who you are, then chances are other areas of your life are going to suffer. Things like your family life, things like your marriage, things like your spiritual life, things like your work-life balance. We need to have a yin and a yang in life. And when all that's thrown out of whack because we think we're inferior, then I hope you understand where this is going. So if we tell ourselves what we are, we generally become it, because our subconscious mind listens all the time, and it is a goal-seeking machine, right? It's the radar machine that goes out and gets whatever it wants from the universe, all the energy that can bring us to be whoever we want to be, right? Whoever we want to be. And it'll do that for you. So if you tell yourself all the time that you're nothing, you're really bad, you're bad at math, you're not good at anything, you're never going to get a job, all these horrible things, then you're never going to get the job. You need to become who you want to become in your mind first. You need to have the image, soak yourself in the image, tell yourself you are that person, and then you're going to become that person. Yes. So let's wrap this video up here, and let's talk about how do we break the habit. So we talked a lot about all the steps, all the kind of the negative thought loop, if you will. And now let's talk about how to break it. Let's talk about how to end the habit, if you will. So one of the worst ways to end a habit is to try to end the habit. If you didn't know, there's a little tip for you. Don't try to just end the habit by brute force. It's generally not going to work. You're probably going to relapse in some way, shape, or form eventually. And it's probably not going to work. Okay? You think back, if you know anybody who has recovered from an addiction or anything like that, or a habit, right? A habit, addiction. How did they come about that? How did they really become successful? Well, chances are at some point they had to believe that they were no longer tied to the substance or habit or thing that was bringing them down. Sound familiar? The hypnotic state that we're put in. You can and can't be somebody. You put yourself in a category and then you become that person. I hope this is making sense now. So how do we break the habit? Well, we need to understand how the habit formed. Most likely, the habit formed in a relaxed state. Okay, stay with me. In a relaxed state, the habit was most likely formed. If you had a problem and you were stressing out, most likely you just went straight to the habit, the potentially bad habit, as some sort of stress relief. So that was automatic. That felt automatic for you because your brain, subconscious, goal-seeking mechanism, you gave it a task. You said, I am stressed. I no longer want to be stressed. Let's fix this. And you didn't give it any guidelines or outlines. So your brain said, well, we know this habit to work out to kind of make us forget about whatever's happening, bad habit. So let's get to it. Let's get right to work. Let's forget about what is happening. Let's forget about the negative thought loop. So then after we're done with our habit that we want to break, we're back to square one with feeling bad about ourselves and our negative self-image. So how do we break it? We have to enter the same state that our habit was created in. We have to go and we have to stay relaxed. Okay? But we know the recent literature does tell us that in order to effectively break a habit, we need to replace it with something, because there's a void there, and you're going to want to just go back and fill the void with the habit. So how we break the habit is stay in a relaxed state, a meditative state, if you will. You're laying on the bed, your arms and legs are cinder blocks, and you're letting them sink into the bed. You're not moving a single muscle. You're turning your muscles off one by one, head to toe, and you sit there for about 10 minutes. And I want you to visualize, I want you to actualize your dream, whatever your dream could be, whatever your goals are. If you want to be a YouTuber, if you want to run your own business, if you want to become an incredible athlete, whatever your goal is, I need you to hold that image in your mind and hold it there. Dream about it, daydream a little bit, get fanatic with it, really dig into it and really immerse yourself in this idea and stay there, okay? In the relaxed state, program the subconscious to go get that goal, okay? Associate good things with the goal. Okay, most of the time, if it's your dream goal, you're working 4 hours a day and you're on a beach somewhere, then that probably, the thought probably relaxes you instantly, does it not? So if it does, hold it, get out, write it down, print out a picture or something, and view it every day. And in the relaxed state, view it. Close your eyes. See yourself where you are in the future on your goal 6 months from now. It doesn't, and that's the other thing too, it doesn't have to be like a 5-year big drawn out plan. If you want a little goal, like a 6-month goal, that can be a huge goal, right? You can do so much in 6 months worth of time if you really work at it. And most of the time, you're not even going to have to do a thing, because your subconscious is going to be going crazy getting that goal, because once we rewire that whole negative thought loop into a positive thought loop and a goal-seeking mechanism to go get our goals for us, our actions, starting from the top, once we imagine that goal, once we program the subconscious, it's going to take a while. So you need to be diligent with this, guys. You need to be diligent with this. So once we tell ourselves what our goal actually is, once we actually have a picture and an image in our mind, then we go back to square one, okay? Then we go back to square one, our self-image and our self-conceptualization. And we understand and then our brain is going to pull our actions from the positive self-image, okay? Sitting on the beach, 4 hours, working 4 hours a day, margaritas, what have you, pulling those actions from that positive self-image. You're going to get good feelings from that. What are you going to do? You may realize, wow, I can't do this while working my job right now. How am I going to do this? Well, I'm going to need that kind of that laptop lifestyle. How do I do that? And you're going to keep asking yourself these questions, and then you're going to get after it, okay? If you keep relaxing, releasing all the negative thoughts and only let the positive ones in, and then stuff that subconscious, that goal-seeking mechanism with your absolute craziest goal, and then go get it, guys. Go get it. If you shoot for the moon, you will at least end up amongst the stars. If you shoot for the moon and you miss, you're at least going to be amongst the stars. And that's taking it very lightly, because if you truly take this into account and truly practice this, you're going to get whatever you want, guys. It's really that simple. Think about it though. If I say you're going to get whatever you want, and you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, I want $1 million. That's not going to happen. Well, you just told yourself it's not going to happen. What have you told yourself that is not going to happen and that didn't happen? Okay, I'm not going to get $1 million. Yeah, you won't. You're not, because you're not taking action to go try to get it. You're staying in your comfort. You're staying in your comfort box, and you're not pushing outside of your comfort box. Your awareness is here, and you're staying in here because you're comfortable. Go like this. And look at all this space we got to work with, right? We can really push our boundaries, and there's so much more to learn, okay? Increase your awareness. That's how you increase your awareness, guys, is when you program the subconscious to go get whatever you want then it's going to go find it. It's going to be like, hey, this laptop lifestyle thing, if we start our own brand, you are the brand, you are unique, you are you. That's why you're not inferior. You are you. You're not a thing. You are you. Okay? That's why you can become your own brand. Okay? And your brain is going to be like yelling at you this way, the other way. Let's try this. Let's try this. And you're constantly going to be thinking about these things. Okay, that's your goal-seeking mechanism, guys. And it works in reverse, okay? If you think you're nothing, it's going to give you nothing. It's going to say, okay, we are nothing, and this person is going, our brain's going to make sure we stay in that comfort zone and that we never become anything. But if we take that goal-seeking mechanism and we say, hey, I want you to dream big. I'm going to be a movie star one day, okay? You may if you relax and you let your subconscious do the work, you may find yourself in a casting like 3 months from now and wondering, oh my gosh, like how did I get here? You set a goal and your subconscious did the work. It's our goal-seeking mechanism. Let it do its job. I'm going to stop ranting. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Once again, I don't care if you like or subscribe. Please share the video. I feel like people really need to see this information. It can really be helpful, and I always like doing this stuff raw and unedited because you guys get to see me, the real me, and I hope that I can connect with you more effectively and see the real you in that way, shape, or form. Okay, guys, love all of you. Have a great day. See y'all later.